Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And I'm just waiting for my Facebook page, or my Facebook group. There we go. I think it's set that it will go live here. All right, looks like I'm live on my Facebook group as well. Always a little bit of a balancing act to get everything live at the same time, and I know Facebook's always a bit delayed. All right, as I said, I'm Melva Peters, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada, and you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's an absolutely beautiful day here on the West Coast after a horrible stormy day yesterday. I had a lovely time with some of my team for tea yesterday, afternoon tea in Victoria. We had such a lovely time. There was 7 of us, and so it was fun, although the drive to Victoria, which is about an hour both ways, an hour and a half both ways, was a little hairy, to say the least, but we made it, and we had such a lovely time. And today, you would never know that we had such a storm yesterday, but today, here we are, a beautiful day, and I am back stamping in my craft room. Hey Sharon, welcome. Yeah, I have been playing with the Cake Celebrations bundle, which is an online exclusive that is available, and so today I'm going to make a birthday card, and I've also been playing with it because I'm using it for the upcoming Stamp-A-Stack series, which starts in January. So the series will go for 5 months, and it's a online kit that you can get. You make 2 of 4 designs, so you can either do it by mail or in person. And this is the kit. This is the bundle we're using in March. So a couple of months or a few months away from now, but I've been playing with it and it's so fun. All right, hey Nancy, welcome. So let me switch over to my desktop and we'll get started. Okay, so this is the Cake Celebration. It is a bundle. And so you can do, you got a cake platter, I guess, and then some different ways to make. You can stamp cakes, some great sentiments. So this can be for birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, just because you can put flowers on your cake, leaves, birthday candles, and then little decorations. And then there are also dies, which is what I'm using today. There are dies that you can cut out the platter. These images are 90%, so you can cut out the stamped platter, or you can just cut out a platter. You can cut out the pieces for a cake. This die cuts out some icing that will flow down the side. And then this one cuts out a little banner that can go across. So it's a really fun, hey Roberta, a really fun bundle that you can use. I haven't typically bought the cake bundles, but this one caught my eye. And then the other dies, of course, you can cut out some leaves, the stamped leaves, the stamped flowers, and then also some die cuts for some more decorations, icing for your cake, for example. All right, I'm also using, these are the postage, I always forget the name. I believe they're called the postage dies. Maybe rectangle postage dies. I've lost my insert. And so I'm using that. And then a couple of sneak peeks from the upcoming mini catalog. This designer series paper is from the Wildflower Birthdays Suite. It's so pretty. Specialty paper with the gold. And then on the other side, which is what I'm using, just really pretty in pink and bubblegum. No, bubble bath. I get that wrong all the time. And then I think soft sea foam. So just really delicate colors. And then these embellishments are called party dots that go with the birthday suite, the Wildflower Birthday Suite in the catalog. So a few sneak peeks. Okay, so I've got ahead and did some die cutting, so you're not watching me die cut. I've got a piece of Pretty in Pink that is 5.5 by 8.5. Give me trimmer going the right way. 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to score it at 4.25. I think that's the right. Yep. Suddenly thought for a moment it was bigger than it needed to be. All right, scored at 4.25, and we'll use our bone folder. to fold into the mountain. So we've got our card base. Hello. Perennial postage. Thank you, Sharon. I get them wrong. I don't know why I get them wrong. Now, I cut out this this piece of designer series paper using the second largest of those dies. And it cuts a piece that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So then I cut a piece of the soft sea foam that is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. So you get a little bit of a pop of the soft sea foam behind, and that's going to go on the front of my card. So we'll do that in a minute, but I've got all these pieces to put together. Like I said, this is going to be a birthday card, but I'm not going to put candles on the cake because sometimes as you get older, maybe you don't want birthday candles on your cake. Now, this is a photopolymer stamp, so I went ahead and cut out the all the pieces using the dies. I could have stamped it in advance, but I just wanted to show you how easy it was to, you can do some cutting out ahead of time, but then with a photopolymer stamp, I would never try this with a cling stamp because you just can't see. But with a photopolymer stamp, I'm going to try and get up over top of this. Actually, I want to get some grid paper. I just want to see how dark this is going to be. Yeah, a little darker than I want. Okay, so this is smoky slate. I'm going to stamp off. Let's move this a little bit. So I'm just going to stamp off a little bit, just lightly, so I don't get it quite as dark as that. And then I'm going to stand over top of this. And because it's photopolymer, I can just take and stamp on it. A little bit off, but you can get the stamped image on it, even though I went ahead and cut it out with the die first of all. Again, I wouldn't do that with a... You're funny. No, I don't think so, but yeah, I think sometimes the time for candles is gone for me. All right, so I'm going to do this, glue this on, and I'm going to use dimensionals to do some popping up of the piece. It's hard to cover up that gorgeous other side of this paper, but, oh, and then of course my glue. My glue is clogged. I don't like it. Let's see if we can get this out. I'm trying very hard to make sure I put my lid right back on my glue so it doesn't clog, but this one really has. So let's get the other one that isn't open yet. And we'll use that one. There we go. Okay, so this piece is going to go on to the soft sea foam mat like that. And then I can start putting where I want my cake to go. So the layers, you can layer your cake like that. And then the two white pieces, because I'm going to have a pink cake with white icing. Like that. So we'll put these on. I'm going to try and just put little tiny, there, oopsie, little tiny dots. Not, ooh, try. That's because it's a new glue. Comes out a little bit. My fingers aren't working this morning. I can't grab it. All right, there we go. So we'll put this, for some of you that decorate cakes, you know how to make a cake that like this, where you put the drizzle on the top. It always looks so pretty. Put it over a little bit. There we go. And then let's see if I can do this. Okay, there we go. So we're just trying to put little dots of glue. Luckily glue dries. This glue dries clears. go. Okay, and then I'll let that sit for a minute. And we'll use mini dimensionals on the cake plate. I think I've got some still on this sheet, because the big ones won't fit. So you'll have to, if you're going to use the regular size dimensionals on this cake platter or plate, or you're going to have to cut them, because it's just not, it's quite small. Okay, so we're just I'm gonna put that gently about there, because I just want to do some auditioning here, because yeah, it's gonna have to go down a little bit because I do have the banners. And then that one came off. Okay, let's put it down a little bit. Get that straight. There we go. I think it's straight. And then we'll use dimensionals on our cake layers. Because my fingers are just not behaving today. All right, so one layer. This is not looking straight to me. Maybe that's better. There we go. One layer. Like that. Two layers. And then this piece is a very delicate little set of banners. So we're just going to take, I'm just going to hopefully just a little tiny bit. You could use a glue dot if you wanted to, but I'm just going to take just a little bit of glue, and then like that. Not a lot here. And that's just going to go right on the top of the cake, just tucked underneath like that. There. Phew. I'm not sure why that took the effort it did, but for whatever reason, my fingers weren't working. Okay, so how pretty is that? So we're just gonna glue this on like that. You could do some stamping if you wanted to behind this, so it's not quite so plain, but I'm gonna let the cake be the pretty part of my card. Okay, now I do need to stamp a sentiment. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment in Pretty in Pink, I think. And I did say it was a birthday cake. So let's find the birthday happy. So there are two stamps for happy birthday. So there's the birthday. And happy. Now I want to cut a piece of this basic white. I want this to be just a 1/2 inch. I'm pretty sure it's going to be, okay, I'm going to make this 5/8 of an inch, because I'm pretty sure, I think my happy birthday will fit in 5/8. A 1/2 inch is just a little bit too narrow. So we're going to stamp, I'm going to cut this. So we're going to stamp birthday. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay, birthday, oops. And then happy. And let's stamp the happy on the other side and see if I can get it down a little bit more in the middle. There we go. That's a little better. And I'm just going to take my snips and cut this into 2 pieces. There we go. Okay, now I don't know if you can see this. Let me see. So, oopsie, that's out of focus. And you may not be able to see that, but when I cut I've got to change my blade in my trimmer. Sometimes when your trimmer blade starts to get a little dull, you can get a bit of a ridge, which is what I've got here on the top. So if you notice you get a bit of a ridge, just take your bone folder, oops, that's the right side, just take your bone folder and run it along the edge of your piece. One, change your blade, but two, if you do have that piece, that kind of ridge, you can just take and run your bone folder along it. Now, I thought this feeling awfully wide for me, so because I like to fussy cut, I am going to take and fussy cut this, because I was just thinking that piece, I don't want to cover up all of my birthday cake. So after I went to the effort to cut that piece of basic white that's 5/8 of an inch, it just feels too wide. So I am just using my paper snips to trim around those, and you may not like it to do that. What you might want to do is cut your piece of basic white or whatever color cardstock you're using to 1/2 inch, and then just be a little bit more careful than I was being to fit it onto that 1/2 inch piece, and then it won't cover up as much of your birthday cake. I just didn't like the look of covering up the pretty cake. So just about. Kind of going around. There we go. Okay, so I'm thinking that's a little bit better. So I am going to put, I think, those on there. It says happy birthday, and I'm going to use mini dimensionals because they're pretty narrow words. Okay. So the happy will go on there, and the birthday will go on the bigger layer. There we go. Like that. And then these are, like I said, these are called party dots, and they're in Pretty in Pink, Pool Party, and Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to use the Pretty in Pink ones. This is definitely a girly cake. All right. Okay, and then I cut a piece of that same designer series paper, 3/4 of an inch by 4, and my inside of my card is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So we're just going to put that down along the bottom. Oh, yeah, it's hard to. I have to. It's looking like our mail strike is going to end hopefully soon, and so I will have to get started on some Christmas cards, because I was kind of avoiding the Christmas cards for the while, but now I think they're gonna have to get done, because it's looking like our mail strike is going to end. There we go. So that is the Cake Celebrations online exclusive for a birthday card today, using those perennial postage dies, which are really pretty and just add just a little lovely pop. So instead of using just a straight cut, you can combine them. All right, I'm gonna have to think of somebody, definitely a female friend to send this to, because I don't think my man friends are going to like that one. I hope so too. It's looking like unfortunately they're going to be legislated back to work, but at least our mail will be moving again. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Now, tomorrow night at 6:30 Pacific, I'm going to jump on and do a double layout. So you may see some of the pictures from our Christmas or our tea yesterday, because I think that's what the pictures I'm going to use. And so come join me and we'll do a double layout. I'm not sure what I'm going to put them with yet, but we did get some lovely pictures. So come that 6:30 tomorrow night, and then at 6:30 on Tuesday and Wednesday, I'll be back on Tuesday with a sketch challenge and Wednesday with a technique for you. So hopefully you're coming, can spend a little time in your craft room, or maybe just watching on your phone or your computer as you get ready for Christmas. Maybe while you're addressing some of those Christmas cards, you can watch me live.